complex.
Not a God complex. I want to do an interview.
Jay, you and Aaliyah dated in the 90s.
Yeah, do that.
Where would her career be today?
Astronomical. You couldn't even understand where it would have been.
Wow.
What she was lined up to do. She was doing the Matrix. You know, she had a hindsight and a vision. Again, I know I'm the coolest because she loved me. She told me I was the coolest. I gotta be the coolest.
But you dated her after your artist dated her. You don't think
my artist did not. He was trying her. Everybody put their bid in. I'm gonna tell you right now, as a man, I'm never ever wifing a girl that any of my friends smashed. It's not happening.
So why'd you date her after Jay?
I just told you that. Now you're reading the papers wrong. We all were
Even if he slept with her, why did you go after her?
I just told you I would never. That should tell you something right there. We were both putting in our bid. None of us had scored. That's how it went. So when we were all trying to get it, Aaliyah, everybody, that was Aaliyah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't him. Just because he tried and gave flowers and got denied don't mean I can't try and win. Obviously, that's what I'm saying. There must be something attractive about what I'm doing.
But then it wasn't just Aaliyah, though. It wasn't just Aaliyah. Allegedly, then you went after multiple of his women. Allegedly. And this was from one of the cameramen.
Again, you don't know
allegedly.
You talking about choke no stupid ass joke that wasn't around? No, he's a liar and he ran. He's a bitch ass nigga to me. Pause. So again, he ran. We got into a fight in Paris. He ran. Stop believing those people. That shouldn't be your source of information.
No.
I don't think you should listen to those things.
It was a question because your demise with Jay-Z.
I just gave you the answer. I just said I would never ever wife a girl that my man boned.
That's what you said. He wouldn't do it. So that's what it is.
There it is.
Rockefeller record.
I think at this point we're all a little bit too old to be talking about somebody that we dated 30 years ago. And rest in peace to Aaliyah, but just talking about a 30-year-old romance in the sense of, we was all trying to put our bid in, and I'm the one that won. Hooray for me. This just seems like something you would do in middle school, and not at the grand old age of 50 or however old Dame Dash is or is about to be. Same thing with Jay. And why is that any of our business or any of our concern? Now, Shawty, I think, was trying to be messy, obviously, with her line of questioning there. But even just bringing it up in the first place, I mean, it's kind of like, so what? Okay, Jay-Z's married to Beyonce now. Got the hottest chick in the game wearing his chain. And they've been down this whole time. You don't never see them get into no shit. Beyonce don't come out and say nothing. Her parents might do some talking, but I don't know where she gets her silence from because she don't say nothing. She don't respond to nothing. She just come out, do tours, sell out, and go on about her business. And Jay-Z out here just walking the streets, living life, being the best damn billionaire that he can be. So this whole notion of where it's at and, who's doing this and who's talking to that, and especially years later, it's kind of ridiculous to me, me personally, being honest. I can understand when there's things like jealousy. Again, because it's always saying that, people always ask me, why am I talking about Jay? Because they always ask me questions about Jay. They bring Jay up. All right, well, when you're saying stuff like this, you could have just left it at, because she said, why did you date Aaliyah after Jay-Z? That was what she said. And that was just a rumor that they dated. Let's say that even if they did date, like it didn't, nothing, where did that really go for real? That we know that Aaliyah was with R. Kelly and Dame Dash. That's what it was. That's where they was at. That's where everybody was at. I'm pretty sure everybody was trying to put their bid into. I'm sure Timberland and Missy tried to put their bid in. I'm sure everybody tried to put their bid in with Aaliyah. I know I would have been. And we see who ended up with her. Rest in peace to her once again. But just, okay, so what? So what? I'd have deflected that question, me personally. Because all I'm saying is I'm seeing Dame Dash do a lot of these interviews where like he just goes on these shows with these panel of women. Nothing wrong with that. But you're not even having productive conversations. It's like you're on there being Dame Dash. They're on there being messy, gossipy. Everybody has a job to do. And they obviously do their job fairly decent and fairly well. I wanted to take a look at this other clip, though, of him talking about certain CEOs.
I look at my age demographic and the people that came up with me in my era. So Puff is in jail. Irv is dead. Sugar's in jail. Chris Lighty killed himself. Wow. Shakur killed himself. DMX is dead. Clark Kent is dead. Homeboy's on the files. Who's left but me? And you know what I'm doing right now?
What's that?
Enjoying my life. Every time you call me, I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying my wife. I'm enjoying my children. I'm sitting on a lake. I'm being creative. But my counterparts aren't here, or they're in jail, or they're accused of things that are like beyond even like I can't even comprehend it. But a lot of what I suspected is 10 or 20 times worse.
Nah, your counterparts are living their life, and you're doing these interviews and you're bringing up your counterparts' names. You mentioned Jay-Z talking about homeboy in the files. Like, everybody's name that's in that files is not implied that they partied or did anything crazy. If you got people's names that's being mentioned in those files only as because there was a show or something with them, your name being in the files is not the same as you hanging with this person. Stop it. You're trying to push a narrative that ain't there. You're forcing it. No, every time we see you, you're not just living on the lake, enjoying your life. You're talking about what other men ain't or aren't doing. You're talking about whether or not they gay up at the Breakfast Club. You know, you're doing a lot of stuff that's not good for your legacy overall. And we all can see it. We all can see it happening in real time. That's the sad part about it. But he named a bunch of people, and it's interesting because, I mean, even through DMX's names, and it started off with him talking about CEOs and moguls and things of that nature. But, I mean, Jermaine Dupri ain't locked up. DJ Paul and Juicy J ain't in jail. It's a lot of people that came up and around that time frame that might not still be in the music game, just like Dame isn't really putting out new music like that. He got new artists, but he's spending most of his time doing these interviews and actually pushing these artists. But so none of these counterparts may be still actively engaged with the music like they was at one point, but they are living just fine, just well. And when he does this comment that he just made where he's doing this comparison thing where it's like everybody's locked up or dead or got something dirt on their name except for me. I'm the only one that's still standing. You don't look like you're standing there strong. Just off the actions that you've engaged in over the past 20 years. I mean, we could say ever since, even when Rockefeller was together. But now it's looking even worse. It's looking even kind of more pathetic because it's like, dang, your name should be held in such high regard. But when we constantly see you getting in your own way and doing things of that nature, it just reminds us that humility is a very strong trait. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section.
If I had a machine that could travel through time, I would go back some years with a Mac and a 9, 2 Uzis with a few grenades in my hand, 8Ks, HKs, more Ks than the Klan. That's fuck a nigga gonna do against me with a musket. I'm talking about them days they would stone you in public. You probably go back in time to meet Jesus Christ. I'd ask Jesus for help to steal Judas Ice. Amen.
You got music, you got a business, you got a product or service, but you're not making enough money off of it because you don't have enough exposure. DM or email me right now to get promoted on my platforms. I have 850,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have 460,000 followers on Instagram. I have the following that you want to get seen in front of. I was able to increase the sales of this Amazon book off of a YouTube sponsorship with just 30,000 views. And I was able to give this artist 15,000 views with the Instagram repost in less than 24 hours. So DM or email me at bookingcranklucas@gmail.com right now to get more exposure and more money for your business.